What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Trials of Imagination, episode 18. We are back. We are ready to continue on further down this adventure into the tales of Ravenloft and Barovia. But first, let's do a little bit of introductions to who we are and what we're doing. If this is your first time here, our group is called Trials of Imagination. We are a group of friends that get together, like to play Dungeons and Dragons, and just have a jolly, nerdy old time. This is our second campaign together as a group, with the addition of 2 new members this go around. And this time we are playing a campaign known as Curse of Strahd. It is a lovely, dark, gothic horror campaign. It is very interesting. If you've never looked into it, I give it a recommendation. I think it's a load of fun. The version we are doing is a little bit homebrewed, so I've made a lot of additions, adaptations, some things from other books. So even if you are a veteran at Curse of Strahd and you've read it or DM'd it or even played it a couple of times, you will still find intrigue or interest here because there's a lot of things you will not have experienced before. And obviously, if you've never heard of Curse of Strahd or never seen anything about it, then, well, stick around for that as well. Few announcements to go through. Everyone knows this by now, but if you are new, this is your first time. Typically, we do not engage with chat vocally or verbally while the stream is going. We're on a time crunch due to a few sort of parameters of how our group functions, and as such, we want to do the actual D&D play justice, so we want to stay focused and be on point and give it as much time as we can. However, there is a point at the end of the stream where we will do the exact opposite of that and engage with chat fully at that point. But during the stream, a lot of us do exist in chat as just people texting away, so we will try to interact as much as possible there. So we are not ignoring you, I promise. We do see every comment that comes through here. It is just one of those things that we try to stay focused so we can be as efficient and on point as possible, I suppose. And we also upload these to YouTube every Friday. So the stream, if you're watching this live, is on Tuesday, and then it goes to YouTube on Friday. And we have a few people that watch there, so it also helps to not constantly engage with chat because YouTube doesn't get to see that, and they really don't have a clue what you're talking about unless you make sure to be very upfront with what you were answering, and sometimes it gets confusing. So it just helps make everything smooth. So don't take it personal if we don't respond to you vocally. We do see you. We'll try to engage with you in chat. And if you hang around until the end, then you'll get some stuff there. Okay, announcements. We do have some giveaways coming up. It has been going on for a few episodes now, so compile your points. The way that points work is you simply sit here and watch. Nothing else required. You just have to be here, be present, and have the volume on. I think when you mute it, Twitch does some weird stuff to where it tries to take away stuff, so be careful about muting. But you just simply be here in chat. You can do exclamation point giveaway in the chat, and it gives you a link of where to go, how to handle all that. It works just like a raffle. You just use your points to buy tickets. Tickets takes your name and puts it in a pot, and whenever we get to that giveaway, we draw a ticket from said pot, and the more times you put a ticket in, the higher the chances you have of winning. And this time around, in episode 20, which is 2 episodes from now, so right now it's episode 18, so we have next week, and then the week after will be the giveaway. We will be giving away multiple things, so we'll be giving away something from the merch store. If you didn't know we have that, you can do exclamation point merch in the chat, and it will get you to that. We'll be giving away a dice tray that was a prototype for when I was getting ready to make some of the ones that I make now. We'll be giving away something that we haven't not even revealed yet, and potentially even more things. It's going to be a fun episode here in a few weeks. So if you haven't already engaged with that, make sure to hop over to that link, spin some tickets, get some points going, and a friendly reminder, you do not have to be doing that during the stream. So if you're one of those that likes to lurk during because you're doing something and you're listening to this in the background, you can pull up this stream channel at any point through the week, do the exclamation point giveaway, follow the link, and it will do the exact same thing. The stream, it does not have to be live for you to engage with that process. So that covers that. In case you didn't know, this is one of those lovely things we have from the merch. Nice little glass. Right now I have water in there. Normally I have sweet tea in there, but it's got our logo on it. It's nice and pretty, and it's a good glass. We have a whole lot of stuff on there. So a lot of fun to be had. Hope everybody has a good time doing that. I think that is everything I can think of. We do have some big announcements coming up, not only from episode 20, but as we get closer to November, we're going to have some big stuff roll out there. So be looking towards that in a couple weeks, which I think ironically will be episode 20. So episode 20 is just going to have a lot of stuff going for it. But that is all I can think of for the announcements. I know that's a little long-winded. I try to be as short as possible. Miss SJ is on vacation. So if you see her in chat, which I do believe she's there, make sure to just say hi. Tell her thank you for not jumping in. She tried to convince us that she would play while on vacation. We was like, no, that's ridiculous. Go be on vacation and enjoy vacation. So hopefully you have a wonderful vacation. Everyone here say hi. Wish Miss SJ a vacation. Happy vacation. And we will see her whenever she gets back next week. That is all the announcements I can think of. Normally, SJ is the one I check with, so I'll check with the group. Is there anything that any of you guys know that I might have missed, or does that seem like everything? Going once, going twice?
Yeah, that seems like everything.
Solid. Okay, so that is going to be it. We're going to go ahead and transition to our lovely intro video and get into episode 18. So if this is your first time, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Iced tea.
And welcome back.
It's got no sugar in it.
All the cameras are in the right place. Woo! That's always like the biggest concern anytime someone's out.
Little things, right?
Yeah, just stop and smell the roses. You know, you gotta like every now and then just play the Seal song in your head, and then remember that you were born in the 90s.
Gaming in the 90s.
I swear.
So last week on Trials of Imagination, our group had just come off the throes of a battle between some werewolves as well as a very large, dark, and ominous shadowy owlbear, let's say, type of creature. But nevertheless, they were successful in both instances. No fatalities, no deaths on the party side, so everybody came out alive, thankfully, and retreated back into the house to kind of regroup and just figure out what to do from there. And there was a lot of back and forth between discussions between players individually to asking some NPCs a variety of questions and getting some answers on some things while also getting probably some additional questions to other things. A lot of exposition that happened last week. I don't really want to go into crazy detail of that, or I could be here doing a full recap. But if you missed it, make sure to go check it out on YouTube, and you can fill yourself back in with most of what went down last week. The important thing to note is towards the end of the episode, we did have some players exploring around to go get Ayla awake so that they could kind of move to the next stage of what they were trying to do. But she was kind of in a deep trance and did not seem to wake up, and they saw her having some tears coming down her eyes, in which case, during the session, we role-played the dream or vision sequence that Ayla, which is played by SJ, was having, in which case the players got to see a little bit of backstory in terms of what happened to Ayla's father specifically. And I won't do it a disservice by describing it in detail. I think you should go back and watch. But we will say that her father was murdered, and we do get to see some of that as well as some of the last interactions between her and her father. And that's where we picked up. That's where we left off last episode, but more importantly, where we pick up this episode. So I know it's a little bit of a tricky spot to pick up on, but I would just say that. So the last thing that you guys experienced was walking in to the room where Ayla is and seeing her having tears, yet she did not wake up. She is still in her monk trance and has not moved whatsoever. So, what do you do?
Well, Nadar's still asleep in the living room, so
Accurate.
So she's sitting up, right? You say, like,
Yes.
meditating.
Mm-hmm.
So Zal will just call out kind of from the doorways, Ayla. You okay?
No response.
I'll turn and look back. Everyone's up here but Nadar, right?
Millard, I don't remember. Did you go up there?
I believe Mark and I were still in his room.
That's right. Yeah.
I think that's correct.
Yeah.
So I'll turn to Elbereth and do you have any idea why she's not responding?
That's wrong, actually. Elbereth woke me up to help her wake up Ayla.
Oh, that's right. I'm still with Nadar, sleeping Nadar.
I thought it was just Elbereth and me upstairs. And Ayla, of course.
I thought so too, but if she's not waking up, then like I would say Elbereth would call Zyle up.
Right. Okay. So for a redact, we'll say Mark and Elbereth. There's 0 response. So she calls Zyle, of which that just happened. So now it's you 3.
Okay. I guess I'll try and wake her up by shaking her slightly, like not a heavy shake, but
you can shake her and she like stays upright as if so like if you were to let go, she doesn't just flop or anything, but she's not awake.
okay. Well, this is weird.
And you guys have been a party long enough that I say like you've seen this before, because she's a monk, she meditates, so this is not completely unbeknownst to you, but for it to be this deep and to not even wake up when shaking is a little more than normal. But you are at least familiar with the meditation practice that she does.
Okay. What do you want to do?
Is there any kind of check I can make just to make sure she's okay? Or maybe try to figure out what's going on?
Sure. Make a wisdom check.
That is a 17.
Okay. So you knew Ayla arguably the best out of the group. Or you know Ayla arguably the best out of the group. So you you can tell that it's exactly what you think it is. That it is. She's in her meditative state, but you've never seen it be that strong to where she doesn't break out of it just from movement. So you're not exactly sure what she might be focused on for that to be happening, but you're familiar enough with it. You can tell it's just nothing bad. It's just she's in meditation.
I think she's okay, but I don't know why she's not responsive.
Okay.
Not really sure what to do.
From my perspective, would they have taken a long time?
I'll say yeah.
I'll come up.
Okay. And just to clarify, Nadar, you're still passed out. Okay, so Millard makes his way up the stairs and
Oi guys, I haven't had much luck waking the da. I came to see how you guys were doing.
Ayla's not waking.
She ain't. I take a look in the room as I arrive.
okay.
Well,
so-
she's probably fine, right? She does this pretty often.
She seems okay, but don't know why she's not waking. Maybe
Would be fine enough anywhere else.
I mean, she's gonna be safe at the house, right? So we might as well. I mean, we're burning daylight.
Just leave her here?
I
Well,
don't
it's not like
that
she's not
idea at
protected.
all.
How is
I
she
don't
protected?
like that idea at all.
How is she protected? Nadar?
Or Ismark's sister's here. And
She's not gonna
We've
come-
already seen if she could take Nadar on, she's pretty good in a fight.
Wait. Are we still going to bury their father? Because I'm sure that Ireena would want to be there.
I'd imagine so.
I mean, with the time we've used up, I don't even know if we're gonna have enough time to get there. So
Well,
we might
what
as well
else would we do?
we might as well take a look around.
What
Get a
the-
lay of the land.
What time of day is it?
Mm,
I guess I could say that in game.
It's still like morning.
yeah, it's early. I mean, maybe 7 a.m. ish.
But if we have to wait for Ayla to wake up from her nap, or her meditation as she calls it, I mean, it's gonna be a while. We might as well do something productive.
Yes. I think someone should stay.
I mean, we can ask Ismark if he'll stay.
I think he'd want
take a
to
look.
bury his father.
I mean, guys, after all, the only things we've heard about this place, we've heard from a few people. Do you think it's about time we've checked things out for ourselves?
Check what things?
Not anything against Ismark, but I don't rightly trust the guy. You know,
Okay.
Like, he's been the only one who's given us any kind of information. We really haven't seen this land for ourselves. He's the only
Yeah.
one who's given us a story about how to get out of here, sort of.
What do you mean?
I mean, like, he's the only person to have any kind of idea about how we got here, other
Oh,
than really vague stuff. So, it's our first kind of fully aware day here, besides, that time at the tavern. Maybe it's time we actually see what the countryside looks like.
I think
Zion?
we can do that while
You with me,
we
right?
help. While we help Ismark and Ireena bury their father. You can kill two birds with one stone in that sense.
I'm just worried about, killing two friends with that stone as well.
No, I'm thinking someone should stay back.
So you rather handicap the whole group? Is that what you're saying?
I'd rather what?
Handicap the whole group.
Decap.
Handicap.
Handicap.
Yeah.
Well, right now we're sort of already handicapped. I only
What are you talking
had a
about, Mark? I
short-
feel great.
I only had a short rest, and with that short rest, I only was able to recover a few of my, a little bit of my spell energy.
Oh, if you want to
So,
wait around here, Mark, all day, I know how much you love to sleep. But I say we get as much information as we can while we have daylight.
I agree.
so what if, okay, if he wants to hang back and rest while Ayla and Nadar are, being Ayla and Nadar. I'm not being Ayla. Ayla, no, she normally meditates this long. Then, he can, and we can check out the town on the way back after burying the father. Although I know we didn't have a lot of luck that first time that we were trying to look around. I mean, Ismark was supposedly the wisest guy here, right? Or the smartest guy. So.
I'm just saying, I think we should take some time for ourselves in figuring this place out.
Okay.
We don't know who rightly we can trust. Ismark's been a nice enough fella, but really, I'd like to see some other opinions about this place, namely my own.
That's
So
a very valid point.
I'm not too keen on going off without the full group. All of us. Ayla and I don't get along all the time, but she's pretty handy in a fight. And if anything happens on the road, I'd rather have her by my side. So if she's not coming, I don't think we should go burying the father today.
How you want to explore, but not bury the father?
I just kind of want to explore without having Ismark watching over my shoulder.
Well, that's the thing. After we help them, we can explore on the way back, and Ismark and Ireena would be free to either they stay there or go do whatever they do.
Usually they're not going to hang around.
I don't think they're going to follow us if we go to explore after that. I think they would either come back to their house or stay with their father if they need to, have some time alone. Or whatever their job is.
The town and the church are in the same direction. From what Ismark's made it sound like, it sounds like the church is kind of far off, out of the ways.
It's like an hour's away, right?
It may sound like they're walking, but if you're dragging a cart with a dead body on it and a coffin and all that, I can imagine it taking a lot longer.
Okay, I didn't realize that. I thought it was in the town.
So, for a reminder, the church is on the most northern part of the village of Barovia, so it is in the village. It's just you guys are on the opposite side, so it would take 45 minutes to an hour walk.
So there's the whole town, the whole village of Barovia in between the 2 points, though, right?
Correct. You have to go through the entire village to get to the church.
Yeah. So in order to get back to the house, we could totally.
You know what? I think my plan is going to work a lot better if I pitch it to Nadar. So I'm going to walk off and go try to wake up Nadar.
All right.
Worth will look at his eye. I'll be like, yes, because this is how we make all of our decisions, is to ask Nadar.
We really need to reevaluate our decision-making paradigm.
Facts. Put that on a sticker.
I
Uh,
in the past, Nadar has got along with so many crazy plans that I just rolled a 17 to stay, or an 18 to stay asleep.
No.
Do I get to roll a persuasion on that?
Well, so how are you? So we'll
I'm
follow
gonna go to
Millard.
the cell. Well, I'm gonna go to the alcohol room, the cellar.
Okay.
I'm gonna pick up at least 2 flasks. At least 2.
Okay. All they have is wine, so it wouldn't really be in a flask. But I get your point.
Well, I have a flask,
Sure. All right.
so I'll fill up my flask and then take 2 bottles of wine.
Okay. You.
I'm gonna take 1 bottle and I'm gonna pour it on top of Nadar's face.
All right.
I rolled an 18, which would be, I believe it's a Constitution saving throw to stay asleep.
Mm,
'Cause- or that's generally how I would say. It's like Constitution to stay asleep, or if you don't want to be woken up.
so, Millard, roll a stealth check against his.
Is it a stealth check?
I'm gonna make it that. Even though he's asleep, just because I want it to be something you're proficient in.
So it
Oh.
was stealth versus my
I'm not
Constitution.
proficient in stealth.
Yeah, you're.
I got a 6.
I.
I only say I'm not proficient in it because it's not one of like the 5 things I'm proficient in.
I guess not like you had a +3, so like it's
Isn't Rogue one of the 2 classes like a Jack of all trades at level 2?
You can. It's one of the things you can.
So Millard goes to pour wine on Adar and just no movement, but he is now soaked in wine.
I tap his head with the bottle.
Okay. How hard?
Not hard.
Adar, make a Constitution
Oi.
saving throw.
Come on, wake up, Nadar.
Can you beat a 25? I rolled a nat 20 plus 5. Why am I wasting those nat 20s on saving throws like this?
All right. I suppose he's asleep. So,
I look behind me to see if anybody else is there.
Ireena and Ismark are still down there. So Ireena's going to.
Okay, I mean, any of my other companions.
None of the other are. The rest of them are upstairs.
I smashed the bottle on Nadar's face.
Should I make another saving throw at disadvantage because it's being broken over my head?
Super disadvantage. But yes.
That's a 10.
I got an 18.
You awake. You're,
Nadar, can I make a deception check to try to feign being asleep?
to feign being asleep?
Like he is awake, but he doesn't want anyone to know that he's awake.
After getting a bottle smashed on
I'm
your
gonna say no on that one. That's like that. You'd be real impressive to pull that one off. I can say
but Nadar is tanky in that way.
I'll say Millard is aware that you are trying to do that.
Oi, Nadar, wake up! I know you're in there.
Starts flailing arms and batting people away.
Nadar, we've got this plan, but we need you for it. I need you to get up right now, so we can look outside the house, because everybody else is being a coward, and they don't want to go outside the house.
How out of character would it be for Nadar to just roll over, stand up, and just Naruto run out of the house?
I mean, it's your character.
Yep. Nadar is going to do that. He just rolls over without saying anything.
I'm
Gets
gonna
up and
follow.
Naruto runs out of the house.
Gonna follow at a somewhat brisk pace, and as I'm leaving, we'll be back later.
What?
Oh, and then I toss him the other wine bottle. Hold on to that for me.
I also feel like just so I don't trip, I should make another check for that.
Go for it.
Because I don't know should it be acrobatics or athletics?
Oof. Acrobatics.
I like my big heavy metal dice that rolled another nat 20.
So you're fine.
So you're fine. You still ran outside on your own with Miller chasing you, which is a horrible idea, even in the daytime. But well,
Yes, but Nadar is just like,
Oi, Nadar, we gotta go this way, towards the town.
Nadar doesn't even look back. He just keeps running.
which
Maybe this was a bad idea.
so is he at least running? I guess where you guys came from, which would be back towards the town.
Oh no, he's not paying attention.
Because I mean, that's the only road. Everything else would just be forest.
He probably darted into the forest.
Oh, okay.
Just off the path, maybe.
Okay.
I think he's trying to find the thing again to try and beat it up.
Oh, okay. We'll come back to that. Let's go back to the group upstairs. Oh boy.
yeah.
I'm guessing they heard something, but
Yeah, they heard some rumbling, so they know something out of the usual happened downstairs. So you guys are upstairs. Ayla's still not awake, and you definitely heard something that sounded like some fast motion and what certainly sounded like a door opening and closing.
I think we heard the wine bottle getting broken.
You would definitely hear that as well.
Okay. What's going on down there? I'm gonna start going over to the stairs and work my way down.
Ismark will meet you halfway up the stairs. I don't know how to describe what just happened. Miller broke glass bottle on Nadar's head, and then Nadar gets up, sprints out like I don't believe I've ever seen him move at this speed ever, and not sure how he stayed balanced because his arms were back this way as he ran forward, but he ran outside and Miller chased him. I don't understand what's happening, but I was coming to let you guys know that two of your comrades just kind of went outside.
All right. We should probably go. I'm gonna look back at Elbreth and Zael. Say we should probably go outside and see what's gotten into Nadar.
Okay. So they can hear you, but if they're still in the room with Ayla, they wouldn't be able to see you if you're on the stairs, but they should be able to hear you.
All right.
I'm just gonna make a note. I didn't chase Nadar into the woods. I'm just standing on the path outside the house.
Smart man.
Yeah, the barbarian who's resistant to like all damage when he rages.
Love that, Jays. For clarity, I did not go into the woods.
It wasn't me.
I also have one more rage before I'm out.
That's the first thing I'm gonna say when you guys come out of the house.
Alright. So Zyle and Elberth, you just heard Mark call in for the situation downstairs, so what do you choose to do?
Zyle very exasperatedly rubs his forehead. Well, so much for a structured plan.
Yeah.
Thank you. He calls out to Ismark. He heard Ismark relay the message, right?
Right. Yeah. I'll say yeah.
And then you just hear him go, all right, let's go retrieve the running, axe-wielding agent of chaos.
Alright. What are you guys going to do about Ayla?
Well, I was going to suggest that we load her on the cart and get the mission done and get out of here, but I think that's got to be delayed.
Okay.
Just throw her in the back with the dead body.
And then nobody will
Is that what
bother
you're
her,
saying?
right?
I mean, if she's not aware of it, I mean, it won't, right?
Uh-huh.
And nobody say anything.
Alright. So since that got, potentially botched, so what would be the plan? Are you guys going to leave her? Are you going to take her with you? What are you doing?
Mark, are you still interested in babysitting?
I don't mind staying around home at the house. Yeah.
Okay.
I think you're probably the best defender in that situation, so yeah.
Okay. So
Let's not wander too far, though.
But I think Ismark and Ireena are gonna be here at least until we start loading up their father onto the cart and going. So
Presumably so.
I can confirm. We will stay behind to be extra defense for your friend, so that you can figure out whatever it is amongst yourselves.
all right.
Hopefully this will be a very short diversion and we can get your business handled for you.
Yeah. Well, in your own time. Then-
All right, let's go
Yes.
retrieve him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
So, before we get to the wood line, so Ismar goes back downstairs. So that's going to have the group, which is Zyle, Mark, and Elberth, proceed to go outside. To which they can see Millard wherever you are in regards to the wood line. I don't know if you stayed there or made your way back.
I'm just standing there looking in the woods.
Yeah.
Oi, Nadar! Come back! Come on, mate! Stop playing around!
Is there a clearing near Nadar?
No.
Okay.
Come on, mate. I know it was a bit harsh to wake you up like that, but come on, we got a mission to do. We got somewhere to go.
Is it just trees and fog?
Uh-huh.
Huh.
Millard, why did you do it?
I didn't do nothing. I did not do anything.
You
Well-
woke up Nadar.
Yeah, but like, I wake up in the dark all the time, and it's usually fine. Like, at least 9 times out of 10, 8 times out of 10, it's fine.
8
Um,
times.
So as So after like
And
maybe
the other
5, 10 minutes.
the other 2 times, it's usually in a fight, so it's like appropriate.
Yeah, this time we weren't in a fight.
So after about maybe 10 minutes, Nadar's gonna like slow down, look around, and be like, "Uh-oh, I shouldn't have come in here."
No, you should not have. Make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh no, I think. Okay,
Alright.
that's fine. That's just a straight wisdom check.
Mm-hmm.
11. I think I know what this is for
Okay.
because
Well, forget it.
I don't remember the effects though. So
So, Nadar has wandered into the woods and now has lost all sense of direction.
I was gonna say he probably ended like even without that wisdom save was probably like, wait, where am I? Which way did I run?
Yep. All sense of direction.
Oh, what? What? Where am I? Hello?
You hear
I'm-
nothing.
I'm gonna start
Instead
going
of-
back in the way I think I came from.
And unsettling enough, instead of what should be nature sounds, you hear dead silence.
I'm going to pull out my battle axe or my great axe and just start walking around, walking really slowly, like.
Alright, so we'll go back to the group at the edge of the line who you can notice that strangely the fog seems to have intensified a little bit. It's not like the mist of what we've seen before, but a dense fog, specifically kind of at the forest line and inn, has thickened.
Look, I'm telling you, Mark, this was not my fault. I can tell you that for sure. Or at least 8 out of 10% sure.
8 out of 10%.
That's more than 50%.
8 out of 10% is 0.8%.
Hey, I didn't have a fancy education like you, Mark. Not everybody can talk as fine and hoity-toity as you can. Some of us had to learn our numbers from
Wow.
packages and little bits of paper.
Okay. Alright, we need to set up a search.
Oh, that's what I'm doing. I'm yelling into the woods, and hopefully he'll come back.
So we need to, like, how far can we see, like, just into the woods?
Now,
Yeah.
maybe 5 feet.
Okay. How about we all walk 10 feet apart from each other to cover the most amount of ground?
Into this fog?
Yeah.
Into this fog? You want us to
We'll be
walk
calling
around?
out- we'll be calling out Nadar's name.
Which of you four are the closest to the wood line?
That's probably me.
Make a perception check.
Huzzah! Six!
Some dense fog right there. Yeah, you don't notice anything other than what you already have.
So, Zyle, do you want to revisit that harness idea that we were talking about before?
I think we probably should.
Is that
Put
a
a
harness
really,
idea
really
that we
strong
tried
tether.
at one time? Because last time we tried Zahil's harness idea, it didn't go so well for me.
I mean, that was just the prototype, right? I mean, once we figure out what design works, and we'd go to someone who can make something more sturdy.
We may need to put some lead boots on you too.
That's what you
What?
said last time.
And a lead apron.
As long as Mark's not doing his magical stuff, I'm sure it'll be right. Not that I don't trust your magic, Mark. It was just that last time it didn't work out. And kind of suspicious. Yeah, this
You got
fog's getting
better.
really close. Was it this dense before?
No.
I think Miss Beck's cat is having a field day.
Cat is killing me.
And remind me, Mark, did you stay inside?
No, I went outside.
You did? Okay. Gotcha. So it's just Ismark and Ireena with Ayla inside. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So even, oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm just going to address the group side. So even in the best of sunny days, it's easy to get lost in the woods. So if we're going in here after him, we've got to have some kind of system to where we can mark our way back.
Not a bad idea. All right. Between Mark and Zyle, who's the next closest to the wood line?
I don't know. I guess
I'd probably be standing right there with Millard.
Okay.
Okay.
Give me a perception check.
Those I can do.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
14.
Okay. Okay. You, with your history and occasionally having to, track people down in your line of work in the past, have developed a keen sense of certain things when tracking. And you, two things, in the midst of all the senses that you guys are experiencing right now, you can't help but detect a pretty strong sense of wine in a direction of the forest. And additionally, you hear what you believe to be the footsteps of something walking, but yet you cannot see anything.
Okay. This is going to sound strange, but I'm pretty sure I smell him.
Oh, no, that makes sense. I dropped a whole bottle of wine. I mean, I did not drop a whole bottle of wine on him. I tripped, and it fell on him.
Huh.
For such a lithe individual, you sure do trip a lot.
I was tripped by Ismark.
I don't believe that, but I don't say so.
Okay.
All right, so does anyone have any rope?
I light up a torch.
Okay.
I
also
do not
light
have
a
rope,
torch.
but I think this will help.
So I'm going to take Miller's torch, and I'm going to stick it in the ground right there at the tree line.
Okay.
Then I'm going to walk in 30, 40 feet, stick my torch in the ground. Or I'm going to walk in to where as far as I can into the fog and still see the other torch. That makes sense?
Okay.
Or does it just instantly disappear when I go in?
The flame wouldn't. Let's say like triple this. So like you could visibly see 5 without it. So let's say 15 to 20 feet. You can still kind of see the flickering of the flame.
Okay. Well, I'll stick the other torch in the ground at that point.
Okay.
Does anyone else have a torch? I'll call out.
That was my last one, mate.
Well,
I
before
don't
you
have any.
before you guys respond, all 3 of you, so that's Elberth, Mark, and Millard, make perception checks.
I got a 6.
Dang.
This dice is like perfect today.
Put that dice in jail.
Sorry, what?
It's the only one I have right now.
Flat
The other ones
15.
are in my car.
Flat 15.
4 rolls count, right? So what did you say we're doing?
Perception.
Perception?
Mhm.
18 plus 3.
All right.
All right. So Millard does not hear Zyle. Mark does not hear Zyle. Elbreth hears what sounds like Zyle's voice, but speaking in a language she does not know.
You think he's gonna come back?
What
Zyle?
language is he speaking?
What?
Yeah, well, who?
Do
Who
you
you
guys
talking about?
recognize that language?
I don't hear anything. Mark, you hear anything?
I didn't hear anything.
Are you hearing voices?
I heard Zyle.
And Zyle, you
Right.
notice that even though that they should have been well close enough to hear you, that you did not get a response back from them.
I will immediately start going back towards the torches when they don't respond.
And
The
you
dog
can't.
starts yelling out for, like, anyone out there? Hello?
Okay. Make another wisdom saving throw.
Also, I cast light on my mace.
Even better, a 9.
Oh. All right.
Dice shell for that one.
I'm gonna get up my flame tongue.
Everybody, just remember happy thoughts for Nadar. Happy thoughts.
Are you dead?
Nadar's just thinking, oh, no, Nadar dies first here.
So, Nadar, you are still walking in what just seems like an endless forest that just never seems to change scenery-wise. It's as if you're almost like walking through like just a copy and paste over and over and over. And straight in front of you, a good, like as far as you can visibly see, you suddenly see a black object.
Nadar starts crying as he tenses up and just stops moving.
Silence. You stay still?
I'm gonna hold an action. If something tries to attack me, I hit it with my great axe.
Okay. What is potentially worse than hearing the sounds of moving? You hear nothing. Just your own breath.
And tears, because he
Yep.
is like.
And your own breath and any of the sounds that you're making is all you got.
Yep, Nadar just.
All right. We'll go back to the group. So, Zyle, you have now reached the edge of the forest to where you can see. You're still in the forest. I'll just say you're at the edge, but so you're in visible range where you can see them, and now the three of you can see Zyle.
You find him?
There you are.
No, did you all not hear me call out to you?
No.
You could try common.
What?
I didn't know what language you were speaking.
The same one I'm speaking now.
I heard your voice speak in another language that I don't know.
I really hate this place.
For what it's worth, it didn't sound like those voices that were. I mean, at least it wasn't like at least. I mean, maybe it's no. Maybe it's worse to hear your voice rather than those voices in the house.
Oh, well,
Yeah, I think I'd rather hear the voices in the house calling your name than a random creature having your voice. I don't really want us being replaced.
That no. It sounds like a really bad time. I only made it probably 15 feet before I started losing visibility of the torch.
Okay. Do we have any other torches?
That's what I asked for, and I heard no response, so I came back
Oh.
immediately.
I've got 10.
Okay. Maybe if we all have one torch lit. Can I, like, try and attune to the short sword that I have?
Go for it.
Okay, I'm gonna do that. How long does it take me? I think it normally would take an hour to attune.
Rules as written, you do need a short rest to attune to something.
Short rest is normal. I'll keep track of it, and I'll let you know if you reach the allotted time.
Well, let's just use torchlight and always make sure you see each other's torch. Maybe?
And it's a very short distance.
Yeah.
Zyle, make a perception check.
Zyle was putting down torches, like in a path. Is that what he was doing?
Yeah,
Mhm.
I was just going
Okay.
as far as I could, and then putting another one down, just so there was a clear path back.
We don't have enough torches to do that.
Perception, you said?
Perception.
19.
So in your comment of what you just said of displaying, yes, I was putting torches down to do this, and you turn around to point at the one you had just placed and no longer see its light. The one in the woods, not the one outside.
Sorry, Nadar, you're gonna get eaten by bats.
No, bats would be
Alright.
nice.
Nibble at you.
I'm scared I'm gonna be rolling stacks on stacks of con saves here now.
Sorry, Millard. I don't remember what this one is called, but we need to tie ourselves. We should all tie ourselves together.
Yeah.
Then again, I do
Yeah.
have an
And
idea
that's what we
that
gotta do.
The other thing about that is the rope will probably get caught on trees.
Not if we
Yeah.
walk in a straight line behind each other. Which
Yeah,
was
but-
one of the problems we had in the last time. I look at Zyle.
If we walk in a straight line, we won't be able to cover.
Well, he was going in a straight line, so it probably is just that way, and I point in kind of a general direction.
Yeah,
Could
right
be
now
right or
I'm more
wrong.
concerned about staying together than covering more ground.
Right. It's dense in there.
I
I can't see the
can.
second torch I put down.
Can we see the house?
Behind you? Yes.
Uh,
The
So
fog
there's only
seems
fog in-
right. Yeah, the fog seems to be it's there, but it's normal everywhere else, which is like a light rain mist at best. Whereas, like, for whatever reason, and Miller can know the most, because whenever Nadar entered the woods, it was not as bad, but after he entered, it suddenly got incredibly thick, as if it's a concentrated thing within the forest itself.
I reach out my hand to the fog to feel it. Like, is it like wet like normal fog is?
Yes. It's just gonna feel like normal fog.
Can I
But-
walk on it?
The fog?
I have a ring of water walking.
Boy, that would be weird. Hmm.
Can I walk on top of the fog? Like, up the fog?
That would be insanely cool, but I'm gonna say no for this one.
But it says right here. You can stand on and move across any liquid as if
It's
it
not
were
liquid
solid.
though. It's not
It
liquid,
is.
though.
it's
That's why I asked if it was like water.
it's
Yeah.
technically you can't. Yeah.
I would say fog is more of a gas anyway.
Let's
It
meet.
is actually a suspended liquid in the air.
Let's say let's
Yeah.
meet. Let's meet in the middle to where it halfway works, but it much like a Mario block will attempt shake and fall.
So if I go really fast.
Right.
You gotta be Sanic. You gotta be a level 20 monk.
Oh my gosh,
Just
but he
never
keeps trying to
teleported into the
wander.
woods. That
Like,
can't end
what?
poorly
Just
at
I mean,
all.
like especially if he
I'm
doesn't
just-
explain this to you guys, and suddenly Miller just whoop.
I'm just looking for
He's
cool
trying to
interactions
walk
that I
on
can use
fog.
my
I'm just,
tools
like-
that I was given by the DM.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm trying to like wrap the rope around you.
I don't want to stifle that creativity. I think this well played.
Speaking of the rope, I don't want this brilliance to go unnoticed. The Dirk suggested calling this one the Midnight Train to Georgia, and I'm all for that. So we all tie
Yes.
together each other
Yes.
together.
Of course,
Midnight Train to Georgia.
of course.
Alright.
So
I'm
going
terrified.
while that situation plays out, let's visit Nadar again, shall we? So,
Another whiz save, got it.
yep, you've
Give me a
been
moment, I'm just...
because you haven't been
pulling up.
moving, right? You've just been standing still.
No. This time I've been standing still. With my action readied. One thing I can't remember is if I can feasibly move while I have an action readied. Dice jail. An 8. I only have 3d20 here tonight. So,
He has options.
All right.
so roll for initiative.
Not yet. That's cute. You think you're gonna get an initiative?
You're gonna get a dead.
So Nadar is still shaking from the last time, and you haven't seen or heard anything since that first moving. Now sees it again. The shadow move, but then
Does it
as
appear
if
closer?
not closer, but it went this so from behind. It went as if from behind you forward, and then not but a split second after that from behind you and to your right to behind you and to your left. Just
Show yourself, coward!
you now, as you're kind of like looking around saying this, and you focus back to wherever center is, you can see the outline of a figure just standing with their arms like crossed and down, and it's clearly like a hooded figure.
Hello. My action is still ready, by the way.
Hooded figure does not move, does not respond.
I cautiously approach. Oh no.
Okay. As you get closer, you start hearing a plethora of voices as if like it's just crossing on the air.
I keep cautiously approaching. Who are you? Just trying my best to like ignore the weird voices. Are these voices in like Draconic or something? As far as I can tell.
It is not in a voice you recognize.
Okay. Because I can understand Draconic, Common, and Dwarvish.
It is in none of those. So you hear it kind of repeat and repeat back and forth to where you get close enough to where you guys are, let's say, fairly close apart, and then suddenly the voices just stop, and it's silence. And you realize that the character is what always seems bigger far off is actually like your size.
Seeing that they're my size, I get a little bit of courage. Like, who are you? As I keep sort of approaching the figure.
Figure reaches up like with a glove, so like everything's just black. Puts 2 fingers in the hood line, pulls it back, and you see a 100% mirror reflection of yourself.
Seeing myself, I run at full speed at it and swing at it with my battle axe.
Okay, you land on the other side, not having felt anything. So like you're on the other side of it. You ran through it quite literally. So you're gonna turn around to face it, or are you gonna?
Yes.
Okay. Turn around. Nothing there.
The disadvantage of not being able to cast any magic as a barbarian.
And back to the front of the wood line. Yay! Okay, so
We're all tied together at this point.
yep. Our group is pulling the something Georgia.
The midnight train to Georgia.
Midnight train to Georgia.
Of
Do you
course,
guys-
because of that
When
little
we
girl
leave-
Georgia that we saved once, and we tied ourselves together.
Do
I
you
did most of the
guys
saving.
proceed to the
Even
wood
though
line?
IL did most of the pulling.
Guess so, yeah.
I'm got my mace lit, like casting light, and like held so somewhere in the middle, so that at least, well, yeah, 2 people have light. I don't know.
We're spread out, I guess about 5 feet from each other.
Actually, I'm holding the light from side to side, just also to check that way.
Okay.
As we start going in, does that second torch become visible again?
No. And you also, that's why I was asking if you guys are going in. So if you guys go in, you can go to the point of where Zyle would have remembered placing that torch, and it is not there.
Okay. That's weird.
I don't like this.
Did we see the torch from where we were?
So you guys could initially.
Okay.
But a few
Can we-
few, step,
Can we
few steps.
clarify our order? The order we're in?
Yeah.
Line?
How do you guys imagine you tied yourself up?
I imagine Elbreth is in the front, and then it's Zyle, and then me, and then Mark. That's how it had meant. Did anybody else have anything different?
Sounds alright to me.
Seems fair.
Because they're the 2 people who can cast light.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
Do we all have a torch? Or... I
Yeah,
guess if Elbreth is using her spell light, she don't...
Yeah,
I mean,
if you
I'll get
wanted,
my last
if you
one.
wanted one, the torch is like, that's fine.
And
I'll
so,
give my last one to Zyle.
so I understand how you guys are playing this. So you guys are how far apart? Like hand tip to hand tip? Is that my understanding?
About
Well, we
5
got
feet.
5 feet of rope, but yeah, between each one of us.
Between so depending on someone's height, like you could hold hands out and probably touch
I
each
guess
other.
that's, yeah.
So okay, and there's just rope connecting each of you. Okay, got it. All right. So you guys go into the wood line. Zyle does notice that the torch he placed is no longer there.
Let's keep on going.
I can't do a lot, but I am, since you're on point, Elbereth, I'm going to give you a guidance. So if you roll an ability check, you can add a d4 to it.
And for the sake of asking, does anyone look back at any point, or is everybody just looking forward?
I'm gonna look back
Person in
to
the back
ask
with
Mark
36.
something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oi.
Good.
I'm gonna look back to ask Mark something. Oi, Mark. What do I see?
So you're looking at Mark, but as we're close enough that you can still see the light of the torch you had outside. Just the light, so you can't see like a distinct vision of it. And you see as you're talking to Mark, the light go.
Oi, who turned out the lights?
What?
Behind you. Mark, was that you? You snuffed that out?
No.
Look behind you.
Look behind me.
You now notice that torch that was outside the wood line is no longer lit.
I give a little tug on the rope to signal Zyle.
I'll turn and look when I feel the tug.
Same thing. You see that the torch outside is no longer lit.
Yeah, I was going to say, but especially now, as he's going along, Zyle will be every 15, 20 feet. He's taking a crossbow bolt and sticking it into a tree.
Okay.
I've got like 30 of those or something like that.
Okay.
20.
You might want to disperse them a longer distance.
Okay.
Oh, shorter.
Not covering a lot of ground, so maybe shorter.
Do we want to keep moving if we can't see our way back?
I mean, what
Yeah.
else? I don't know what other option we have. We can't, like,
Well,
can't just
we
at
can
least-
either leave him, which I don't recommend, or we can charge headfirst into whatever knows what.
I don't like either of these options.
Well, we
Yeah,
gotta
they're
do
both
what we
pretty
can
bad.
do.
I take a step up onto the mist to see if it works.
Okay. It
I'm testing it.
yeah. So it'll work temporarily, but like for maybe a split second before it falls.
How'd you do that?
Do what?
You just stepped on that mist.
Oh, don't worry about it. It's just a sailor's trick. And then I lean against a tree, and I try to like pretend, like use the tree to like pretend that I'm walking, floating.
Nice.
It's just something we used to do for fun on a ship.
Yeah.
You know, you just lean against the mast like this, and you set your legs a certain way, distribute your weight, and it looks like you're floating for a second at least.
Oh, okay.
All right. All three of you make a wisdom saving check.
You know what number I'm
Or
gonna get?
saving throw, excuse me. Please don't get a 6.
I'm gonna get a 22.
That sounds much better.
3?
Zyle, 4. Zyle, Elbreth, Mark, and Millard. Math.
Also, I was waiting till there was a opening to say this, so hopefully it gets in before it. But I wanted to take off the necklace and hand it to Zyle and ask him to pass it back to Mark, and just tell him that it will help him to just wear it.
That will do just that.
You can relay that.
Okay, what is this?
some sort of trinket I was supposed to pass to you.
It's supposed to help me in what way?
I don't know. That's what Zyle told me.
That's
He
what I
said-
was told.
That's what he was told.
Okay.
If you're putting it on, just tell him to put it on.
Random grunt number 5.
put it
That's what
on.
I was told. Ah!
Okay. I put on the necklace.
You know what we haven't tried? Just yelling for Nadar to see if he hears
I
us.
thought someone was yelling.
I mean, I yelled
from
a
the
lot
tree line.
before you got here.
Okay.
I mean, we're only like 20 feet in.
I
Nadar!
know we're not getting
Nadar!
very far. So the necklace will give. It's kind of like guidance. But which one are we doing right now? A saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw.
If you fail that, well, you get a +2. You can try to.
I rolled a 16 plus 2.
So I take it at 9.
All right. Zyle, what was your saving throw? 14. Okay. Mark, you had 16 plus 2.
Yeah.
Elberth.
I was supposed to use the sparkly blue die. I had the sea glass blue die, so I rolled a 5.
Good.
The other time it fell on the floor. Should I just roll on the floor? 'Cause I
Good.
don't know where the dice tower went.
Millard.
The curse continues.
I got a 22.
Attaboy. Get them 6s out of here.
Did that? So the necklace gives me a buff.
Only use it if you
Fail.
fail.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just all right.
So 3 of you pass. 1 does not. You'll never guess which one.
Nadar.
Is it the
Just-
one in the front?
Just that's the one that.
Millard, wasn't it?
Yeah, with a 22. Turns
It's
out it
Mark.
was the highest actually gets punished.
It's Mark Weston.
This is like golf.
Like- 22, it's actually a 6.
It's like the weirdest thing. It was a spell that like only if you roll a 22 do you actually get murdered by lasers. It's just the weirdest thing.
Hey, boys and girls.
Come on, man. Come on.
Gonna rock it.
So, Elberth is going to start hearing voices, but no one else will. So it's just Elberth. It's going to hear the.
Did you hear that, Zyle?
Are you-
Did not.
Are you hearing voices again?
Nadar, is that you?
What did this one sound like? Did it sound like Nadar?
It didn't sound like Nadar. It would have been a lot closer to those ones in the house.
All right.
Oh.
We should
Kinda
be
weird
calling
stuff.
up for Nadar. Nadar.
I will also yell for Nadar.
I will do that as well and ignore
Alright.
the weird voices.
So, not a horrible
I'll
idea.
encourage you when you need it.
So, all right, Nadar. So we're gonna have to do a couple of checks this time. First, let's just do a normal perception check.
I have 3d20 here.
Did you
Okay.
design these woods? Seems like really weird.
Not gonna answer that.
17 on perception.
Okay.
And then a wisdom save.
Mm-hmm.
Come on! Let's see if we can guess the roll.
4.
Exactly! 4! Godarsh
All right.
is going
This just
insane
gets
over
worse and worse and worse.
here. When do I
All
get
right.
that level of No.
Okay, so you do actually hear what sounds like voices calling for you, and if you know with that much of a perception check, you can tell it's your group, but they sound not only distant, but like from every direction. So it's hard to see. It's hard to have any idea of which way it's coming from. And then with the saving throw of 4, you kind of like looking around as you hear the voices again, suddenly see the hooded figure once again standing in front of you. Except this time, instead of far off, it's just like instantly just right there in front.
What do you want? I'm holding an action to attack if I get attacked again.
Pulls back the hood, and again, it's you. Like, it just looks like you.
I don't know what that means. Why do you just pull your hood back when I ask, what do you want?
I want my family back.
My family is dead.
Yes.
Hug?
I would not hug one responsible for the death of our family.
That dragon was the thing that killed our family, wasn't? Nadar finally like puts his arms at his side. It's like he's still ready to just quickly get into action. But it's like,
The dragon may have killed the village, but who let the dragon in?
I did.
You.
That's what I just said.
You're gonna hear it start like repeating and echoing, like very fast and overwhelming. The
Yo, 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 yo.
Puppet.
So, that's just a lot to do. So back to the group. You guys have been yelling for Nadar. All 4 of you go ahead and make a perception check.
Perception.
Boy, I can't wait to get to the post stream of this one.
I rolled a 4.
Oof. And Millard's at 15? Was that 15, Millard? Okay, so 23. Elberth, what you got?
I don't want to talk about it.
Is it a 1? Okay. Man. All right. And then, so 20. So, Miller, did you say 15? Was that right?
Yeah, 15.
Okay. So Millard and Zyle, in between everyone shouting out, here's what sounded like a distraught Nadar kind of yelling, and it's the exact words of what you just heard him say. So you don't have the context, but you heard him in that exchange, so you can tell that he's close.
Oi, guys. You heard him, right?
What?
I thought I heard him
Oh.
coming through the mist.
I didn't hear him.
Was the direction it
Nadar?
came from clear?
Yes.
Yeah, clear-ish. Oh, it was that way.
Unlike what Nadar heard, you guys had a good enough roll that it sounded further into the forest.
I mean, we're gonna have to press on, but like, they sounded kind of like he needed help.
So Sacred Flame has a range of 60 feet. I'm going to just drop one straight ahead from the direction I heard him from, about 30 feet. It's just a big fiery radiance that drops down.
You said 30
See
feet?
if he, yeah, notices it all.
All right. So, Nadar, while these voices are just doing the repeated you all around you, and the shadow figure is just in front of you, just staring at you while doing that, a glowing sword just comes out of nowhere and straight into him, but he just kind of dissipates as it oddly enough hits him directly. And you now have like a glowing sword right before you, which you do recognize as Zyles. So none of you see each other yet, but because you threw the sword far enough to where you're not going to be able to see it clearly, you can see the glow of it faintly, so you know its direction. But Zyle doesn't see Nadar, and Nadar does not see Zyle.
Nadar's still being upset. It's just like a little confused and like upset. Is like he doesn't know whether that's like his, with all the wisdom stuff. Like he doesn't know
Sure.
what's his mind messing with him, the world messing with him, or whatever. And it's like, I don't know what to do. And he's back up on he's on his feet. He readies his attack for anything to come near him this time. Anything come within like a melee range of him.
Okay.
He's just gonna whack with his battle axe.
Oh,
and
no. Oh no.
but he's got like tears streaming down his face and like and whatnot.
Okay.
But it just stays there.
All right. So, and for the group of four, you guys are moving towards where you heard, yeah?
Yeah.
So, like, haven't stopped, like you're still. So, Zal, you notice as you go to make your next crossbow bolt, like before you even stab it in, that the tree you're going to already has one in it.
That's not good. About 10 seconds after I do the Sacred Flame, I am going to call for Nadar again.
Okay. This time, no check needed. You guys are close enough now, so Nadar, you do hear him calling.
Hello? Someone threw this flaming sword near me.
Oh, it wasn't me. I didn't do it. I didn't do
It
none.
was me. You've seen it before. Sober and drunk.
Are you even real?
I am definitely real.
He is definitely real.
Prove it.
So am I.
Nadar-
All
I
of us
take
are.
I take the flask out of my bag and I throw it at him that I filled up earlier. I'm aiming
Alright.
for his head.
Do you move, or is it going to hit your head?
Nadar doesn't even know what's going on, so he's not gonna move, thinking that it's probably fake.
All right, so you're going to get hit in the head with a very real flask.
Oh, ow, what the heck was that?
It's me proving I'm real.
Nadar,
Drink it. It'll
are
be
you
fine.
okay?
I mean, he will be once he drinks it.
Are you okay?
I just kick it
Nadar?
away, thinking it might be like the fog's throwing stuff at me.
Look, you kicked it. I could hear it, the thunk. It's obviously real. I'm real.
Okay.
Mark's real. Elbereth's real.
Nadar, are you
Are
okay?
any of them in melee range of me
Oh gosh.
at this point?
No, not yet.
Something is
can I-
definitely wrong if Nadar is kicking wine bottles or flasks.
I'm just gonna stay there and just wait till someone or something gets within melee range.
I'm gonna like
Um,
point the mace all around us and cast protection from. Oh no, that's not detect. I was trying to. Nah, never mind. I'm doing that one.
is
I need to be protected from good and evil right now. It's fine.
is Nadar like hyperventilating or anything?
Not at the moment.
Okay.
Not quite that bad.
I'm gonna
No,
use,
but he might later.
I'm gonna use telekinetic shove on him to move him closer to us.
Does that move me within melee range of anyone?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm rolling to hit. It's on the
All
ready
right. Mark,
but
who?
you need to make a strength.
Is it me?
if you
Yeah,
don't
make
want to- You need to make a strength save
Yeah.
if you don't
Yeah.
want to move.
Nadar, did you want to
Well,
move?
Nadar's not like, if he gets moved, he's not going to fight getting moved.
Okay.
But he is not moving towards you. It's like you're using telekinetic shove. He's not going to fight, thinking it's the mist moving him, and he doesn't know where to go. So he's like, "I'm going to let this thing do what it wants to me."
Okay.
I rolled a 16 to hit the closest person.
That'd be a question for Mark. So when you pulled him, I'm guessing you.
I guess so.
So does a 16 hit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Take
you're still on the
12
line.
slashing damage from my axe.
12?
12 slashing damage from my axe.
Nadar, ouch!
So you.
You know,
Are we,
Guys,
so we're
it
not still on
might
the
not
line?
be.
Well, he used a telekinetic shove to pull him to him. I think would be the most direct
So
line
like
of it.
you would pass the other three of us.
Well, that would
right.
only work. Only if you're like face perfectly straight to him. You guys might have been angled in some regard. So it's So Mark gets hit, but you guys are all close enough to kind of understand what's going on now, and so Mark gets hit. Takes this pretty decent hit, so you're gonna have a wound, and some blood hits the ground, and when the blood hits the ground, then suddenly everything goes quiet, and you see the fog actually kind of recede.
What's gotten into you, Nadar? Ah,
Was it that easy?
was what easy?
Nadar now starts hyperventilating. After now seems so done. And the internet borked.
As the fog recedes, you guys realize that you are literally like only 2 steps into the woods.
Nadar.
I hate
So
this
my
place.
connection crashed.
It's fine.
Let's get back inside.
Please.
Nadar
Yeah.
started hyperventilating at this point.
Drag
After
him
So,
if
give
you
me a
need
hand.
to.
We gotta get him fast.
Yes.
So we
So I'm
both
gonna-
take his arms.
Yep.
Okay. So you
Start
guys are
tying
going
the rope around
back-
Nadar.
back to-
Take his axe away from him and throw
Yes.
tail breath.
not a bad idea.
Throwing the axe.
Nadar's gonna hold on as tight as he can to his axe.
I punch him in the face
I'm gonna use telekinetic shove on his axe.
as
This-
I punch him in the face.
This one Nadar's fighting.
There's a lot going on here.
Dang it! I hate this dice now. It was
I
rolling
love
so
that
good.
dice now. It's so good right now.
I rolled a nat 1 to fight the telekinetic shove against my axe.
Yeah, he
So-
gets his axe taken from him.
Yeah, so it's taken. So, all
Mark
right.
takes it.
Yep.
I still punch him in the face.
I support
Just-
this action.
Just for good measure.
Upon losing his axe, Nadar's using his last rage.
I rolled a natural 20 to punch him in the face.
Nadar has. I
Hey.
have gone into rage. My hands
Why?
have been turned into claw. Because Nadar has no idea what the heck's going on, whether or
So-
not this is all
I thought
fake.
you were-
This happens before you can go into your rage.
Well, if
That's
happening
fine.
At
if
the
you're-
same time.
if you're hyperventilating, though, I don't Like I feel like
Yeah,
that's like in a state of
like I'm
takeover to where
panic.
you're kind of panicking. Yeah.
Panicking, but as soon as I lose the axe, it switches from panic to that's my only line of defense. I go into a rage.
I'm
and my
wondering if
hands
he's
turn into
knocked out
claws.
though.
Yeah,
by
that's
a
what was.
natural 20.
Yeah, with a nat
Natural
20, a nat 20 punch, I'm going to say you actually get KO'd.
I was like, I was thinking like as soon as the rage sort of starts as I lose the axe, and I can
Even
try and
like
slash back with the claws right before I get knocked out.
with a nat, I gotta
Didn't
respect.
that
I gotta
happen from
Yeah, no, like I'm okay with being knocked out. I'm just saying like as the axe flies out of my hands, the rage.
I
just
think you're
takes
trying
over.
to do too many actions.
Possible.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. Let's just keep it
'Cause
simple.
You
Let's
already
just-
took a swing at.
I took a swing because I was like, what's going on?
No, it's not. I'm just saying
Yeah, no,
action efficiency.
yeah, it's fine.
Economy.
So what we'll say, like you had that. The telekinetic shove went through. We had the fail there, so the axe got taken, and you were getting ready to do something, but Miller did successfully knock out with a nat 20. You gotta respect it. So we'll just leave it at that and have Nadar be knocked out temporarily for there. So are you guys taking them?
quickly try to continue
We are rushing
tying the rope around him?
Okay.
So I was gonna give Miller like a really appreciative nod for a well-placed punch.
We go to get him inside.
Well, then as soon as Nadar wakes up, he goes into his rage.
Oh Lord. All right. Tie the rope good.
Yeah, we need to bind him well.
We need to bind him? What?
With rope.
You can't see he's going crazy. He just swung at you with his axe.
Yeah.
So you guys go back in the house?
Yeah.
Karen, so you carry Nazar back in, and Ismark is going to look at you very confused because he's going to look at the group, see the dwarf tied up, unconscious, and you guys.
We need as much rope as you can give us.
And he also sees the wound in Mark, and is going to be very confused. Like, you guys just went out of the door, and you like immediately come back in, and one of you was unconscious, and one has a giant gash. Like, how did you
Don't
do?
really have time to think about that right now.
How
and
did you
to
pull
process
this?
What you're saying?
How did you pull this off in a matter of like 2 seconds?
That's
We went in
not
the
well.
woods.
Can we address
There was
that?
fog. Things were weird.
Can we get him tied up nice and proper first, and then we'll explain everything before he
Yeah.
wakes up and murders my face. Mostly my beautiful face.
Oh.
I
Do you
mean,
have like
my face.
Oh, okay. Yes, I will get supplies.
We drag him upstairs.
I mean, if you have something better than rope.
Oh, I imagine it's not even graceful. Just
I just imagine Dial and I are having by the arms. And it's like,
or that. All right, so he's gonna come back with Ismark will come back with a some, like thick, almost sailor rope, similar in regard.
okay, Mark, do your thing.
Me? My
You're the
thing?
one with the rope tricks.
No, I just have. No, I don't even have that spell prepared.
Now you tell me.
But that spell doesn't do any rope tying. It's actually just for getting into a extra dimensional area.
Aren't you good at knots, Miller? I thought sailors were good at knots.
Oh, I am. I just thought it'd be better to put him in a different dimension right now.
I don't know that.
You know, keep him really far away from that axe over there.
That only lasts for 1 hour, and after the hour, he then can out of the dimension.
Hey, 1 hour is better than
fall
nothing.
to the ground.
I would rather keep eyes on
You're
him.
not the one that punched him in the face, Mark.
I would rather
You're
keep
not
eyes
going to be
on
the
him.
one who's going to come after that.
Let's not lose sight of him, and also can we go upstairs? Let's do this in Ayla's room.
I cannot help but imagine that situation unfolding in Nadar flopping out of the dimension after an hour and just being Squidward in the fetal position. The future. What happened?
Fine, give me the rope. I'll do it.
Alright.
Jeez.
I go upstairs and check on Ayla.
He is nice and tied. Right.
Bring him upstairs.
And just for that, Mark, I'm putting him in your room.
Okay. Whatever.
So Nadar's unconscious, so he doesn't have to make this. Elbreth, you're not. So I need you to make another wisdom save.
Okay. Oh, that's a 5 again. Oh wait, actually, hold on. That was saves. Wait, what's with saves?
Save.
Oh no, I only have a +1 on saves. Oh no, that's
Yep.
oh save.
You have
Okay.
3.
Does 9 help me?
No.
And how far am I still standing there, or am I on the way up to
You're-
Ayla's room?
You're on the way up, but close enough to where like you're at the stairwell. I'll say with I guess you're close enough with eyesight of everybody that they can still see you. And you're gonna hear the voices again, although this time it's speaking in a language you understand. And I need to make sure I get the. What are your languages that you know?
Celestial, Common, Dwarvish.
I was making sure. I was like, there's no reason you shouldn't know this, but they're speaking Celestial specifically. So everybody everybody else is not going to hear this. This is just going to be Elberth hearing this.
How many people died on your behalf?
And that's where we'll end tonight's episode.
I was gonna say, like, with Nadar unconscious, feasibly you could have him roll to hear it, like in the dream/unconsciousness, whatever he's in,
Oh, okay.
and he
Dream
wouldn't be able to
first.
like do it.
Good.
Yeah, like
Gosh.
a dream.
My
That was a big mind f. of an episode.
gosh. Okay, so first things first. So thank you so much for watching episode 18 of Trials of Imagination. This is the point where we actually stop and engage with chat. So if you've been watching on YouTube, this is the point where you may feel free to check out and tune back in next week. But if you do stick around, we will try to make it nice and clear to make it obvious what we are talking about so you don't feel completely lost. So don't feel like you have to go, but you're welcome to, because this is where the portion of the episode ends. So we have roughly 10 to 15 minutes or so before a couple of our players need to check out. I think Nadar has internet more than usual given where he is, but still we want to like be thoughtful of the time. I know Millard has to go, and then Zyle's an old man, so he needs sleep, so we don't try to stay open too late at night. So this is the point of the night where you may let your questions fly. We will answer what we can. We'll actually get to interact with you vocally as we have not been able to during the episodes. This is a fun time. So if you have any questions, make sure to go ahead and let them fly in the chat, and we'll get going with that. So before I ask some questions to the players,
I just want to say
Go ahead.
it was not my fault that we ended up in the woods.
100%.
No, it was
You just
totally
woke
my
him up.
fault.
100%.
It was honestly, after hearing like there's like a huge fog or a really thick like fog here that you can't really see through. I'm like, Nadar is either going to die or I'm going to be inflicted with some sort of curse.
I was just thinking, this was a mistake. This was a mistake. This was a mistake.
The one thing he should not have done.
It just like I cannot. This is partially why I love this game, but also as a DM, it just makes it very tricky. None of that was supposed to happen tonight. None of that. That was a complete oh, all right. Well, we're doing this now.
I mean, it's probably a lot more exciting than just like sitting in the house waiting for Ayla to wake up. So
That's what I was actively trying to avoid that
Right.
this week. I was like, no matter what, we're gonna do something.
Yeah, right. I thought that maybe someone would just plop him over the shoulder and carry her, but that never got tossed around. So I don't know.
That was going to be my suggestion, was that we do the mission and we just have her in the cart with us where we knew where she was, get the mission done. But then long before that got thrown out, we were doing our Merry Goose Chase.
I think I've always just, as a player, always been against carrying around a person who's not there. So I was always leaning towards the more, we'll set them aside and leave them at a place where we can find them, or where they can come from. So that way, if we get stuck in a spot, they don't just wake up. It's better for them to show up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, that was sort of my thought process coming into this. Was like, depending on what goes on, because at the moment Nadar was asleep on the main floor. Nadar will either just run off on his own, or he'll be like, "Huh, what's going on?" and just kind of just sit there and just tag along without saying much of anything.
And
I figure, and then without SJ showing up, I was like, "Well, guess it's probably gonna be a better idea if I run off on my own and they try and come get me."
And in fairness, this probably would be helpful moving forward. I probably should have told you guys earlier because I probably would have helped with your decisions. But if any of you ever miss a week and your player is something's happening with a group and your player is just left behind, I would never do anything to your player if the group decides to, like Jay suggested, just go on. So if they stay behind, I'm not going to punish the player for because they couldn't be there. So it's okay to leave somebody. I'm not going to be.
So we could have left Nadar in the middle of the woods.
Well,
and then next week, if he just doesn't show up, he'll be fine.
Well,
next week I
that's
could
a
have
good
brought in a backup character because I really, really want to do a Gem Dragonborn, and that releases next week.
Or worse, you could have had Nadar show back up, but in black clothes, and then he doesn't seem like Nadar anymore.
No, that doesn't seem like him.
If
He
you
wouldn't wear
want-
back.
try to think of if you're trying to kamikaze, try not to kamikaze. Try to just do it by yourself and not
Yeah, just let the
party out
DM
with
know.
you.
If you want to
Yeah.
die, let the DM know, and then
That wasn't
he'll
Nadar
kill you
wanting
in
to die.
he'll kill you in a more natural way.
In a blaze of glory.
Because I had no intentions of letting Nadar die to the best of my ability with Nadar's sheet. To the point where I was like, if Nadar were to die, here are a couple other options for Nadar to stay.
It's
That
just
Liam and I were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
it's just so funny because I what I had prepped in my head was that you guys would find some way to continue on the mission, whether you left Ayla or took her with, whatever happened. I thought surely we'll do that this episode, and they'll get to walk and talk and get to the place and help Ismark and then bury their parents, and then they'll get that task done, and then they'll meet the people, if any, at the church, and then have some new people there, and then get to decide what to do from there. But nope.
I don't trust Ismark, so I'm it's not like I'm actively trying to not go with Ismark, but in this episode, I was actively trying to not go with Ismark.
I also feel like the first red flag that this is probably not going as planned is when I asked if I could Naruto run out of the house instead of just run out.
Probably. So we're going to go to our round robin to the group. So again, in chat, if you do have any questions, this is the moment to let them fly and ask away, and we'll answer whatever we can. But let's go through our typical phrasing. So, highlight of the night, or whatever you want to call it, favorite moment, highlight. Richard, we'll start with you, buddy. What you got?
Come back to me.
Come back. All right. I feel like I'm going to get
Come
this
back,
answer
kid.
from a few people, but okay. So Bex.
That's not fair. He stole my answer.
I halfway expected like this to be a few answers here. Okay. Liam.
It was funny that every check that Elbreth made, she failed. It was funny.
Just dice.
Hilarious.
Dice just
curse
does
is
not
real.
like. We got to figure out this problem, girl. It's gonna be really bad later on. This keeps happening. There's some truth there.
Well, I got the 18 when it fell on the floor, so maybe I should just like keep rolling on the floor.
Floor
Right.
rolls.
Four
It's,
dice.
it's not the dice, it's the surface.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it needs to be this.
You might be onto something there. Jay, what about you? What's your highlight of the night?
I actually happened at the end where I was arguing with Mark, and I was like, it's not like he's gonna come out and whack you with an axe. It's gonna be me.
Well, even I don't know what's going to happen with that.
Oh, you
And-
should. You're Nadar.
I should, but I was like, as soon as I was told, "Oh, I'm unconscious," it's like, "Oh."
Well, at that point you weren't, but
Also, one punch.
one purge.
Yeah, that's I
That-
was actually gonna,
that's-
that was my favorite part. Actually, was Millard's just beautiful nat 20.
Just whap.
You're out.
That's sort of how I
That was
met. I just,
perfect.
as soon as you said like he's unconscious from the one punch, and like my brain just started doing the one punch. Theme
One
song.
plus theme song.
Yeah.
All right, Lava for you. Favorite moment of the.
He had a lot of good moments.
Yeah. This one's tough because like.
Well,
it's
by
like,
far
okay,
had the
it's
most Nadar moments we've had probably in any episode.
What's that supposed to mean? Because it's like he was all over the place. He went from crazy to
Yep.
to being like, I
Yep.
don't know what to do here. To like,
Some PvP.
it was. If
I
he-
was really wondering, like, so how's Matt gonna handle PvP?
If-
Yeah.
if Zyle had, I will say, if Zyle had come up in a way that wasn't threatening, I would have dropped the ready to action. But because it was a telekinetic shove, I was like, why am I'm being moved, ready to attack.
Yep. I was debating that. I was like, okay, what I could be really mean here, and have some hardcore PvP happen to where like both people, like if they fail some checks, just don't realize who the frick they are. But
you have to be a little careful with PvP.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's not designed. The game is not designed for it.
very
Yeah,
much.
no,
so.
that's why it's like, there were ways that Nadar would not have attacked, but because of what ended up happening,
I just mean
I-
numbers wise. Like
Yeah, I was
the
think-
the game is not designed to have players hitting other players because the damage numbers are too high.
I
Agreed.
was
Yeah.
thinking that if Nadar realized that it was me that was, he would realize that it's us.
Mm.
I
Well,
mean,
the mic
fla-
just like cut out the important part of the
Yeah.
sentence.
I mean,
Uh,
the flask would have been enough if he hadn't been consistently getting worse on those wisdom saves to the point where it's like he basically has no idea what's going on, what's real, what's not. So it's like, for all he knows, the mist could have made something, the fog around him could have made something feel real that wasn't actually real.
mhm.
But
mean,
what
that
do
makes
you
sense if he was just
exactly
talking to
know
himself.
about the fog?
Yeah, my
do you
internet
know
went wonky.
What do you know about the fog?
Oh, my brain, I was just equating that to like the mists that surround each domain.
Like yeah, he
Yeah,
doesn't
but
he doesn't
you
know
don't
anything
know
about
that,
the
man.
fog.
I don't actually
was
know
just
anything
talking-
about it.
But he's seen some stuff, and like from his perspective, he's seen a bunch of stuff in the fog, right?
Yeah,
Right.
he was
Yeah.
just talking to himself, so it's very logical to like
Not
assume
trust
that
anything.
we're all
Right.
fakes as well.
Fake.
Yeah.
Big
He
friend.
was a little thrown off.
Yeah,
Uh,
like
Very
that was
thrown
it's
off.
just like perfect that we found him right after he was talking to himself. It's just like that's the worst time.
Right.
Yeah.
he didn't know what was real and what was not at that point. So
To be
back
honest, it might be when he wakes up, he might not know what's real and what's not still, because like he attacked Mark got his axe thrown out of his hand and then got knocked out as he was
And then
about to rage.
He's about to get He's about to awaken, tied up
Yep.
heavily.
Yes, but he'll still be like, what's going? He'll still be like, what's going on? Probably end up raging and trying to break out because they get advantage on strength checks when they're raging for that stuff.
We'll get to that point.
This probably isn't the first time he'll have woken up like that.
Probably
True, but
not. Probably not.
He's becoming less drunk though by the hour.
It's true.
Yeah.
So, while we still have time, so back to Richard. Was that going to be your answer, the punch moment, or did you have another one in mind for your highlight of the night?
That was. It was just so perfect, like the nat 20.
For it to be a nat, yeah.
After all the sixes.
Yes. fail, and then like coming just raging success. Bex, we'll come back to you.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I found it like kind of amusing when Nadar attacked Mark, and he's just like, "What are you doing, man?" Like,
just has like
really
half
casual,
his
but it's
freaking
all-
health taken away, and he's like, why? As opposed to just any other action. That's true. Glorious.
It almost makes me wonder if like, you know, if it not that maybe if it happened before, but also if we always are waiting for that to happen, like we're always going to assume that might happen.
Mm-hmm. So, it's hard for me to pick because I need to. There was several rather humorous Millard moments sprinkled throughout. The fraction moment, for sure. Probably one of the.
Forgot about that one.
Yeah, Millard doing fractions. That was a good one. Yeah, there's just a few just natural interactions of just the characters just kind of like playing off of each other was unique and interesting because in what is otherwise a very unsettling kind of strange episode in terms of what is happening, you guys managed to also like bring comedy into it, which was great. So it helped bring a good contrast, I think. So it was entertaining.
I think that's just a fun dynamic to play off of. Because Millard and Mark are friends, but Millard is not intelligent in that way. Like he's not a learned person, and Mark is a very learned person.
Yeah.
But Millard definitely thinks he knows stuff, while as Mark actually knows stuff.
And additionally, water stepping on fog, Mark seeing it and then trying to play it off as it was a fake doing it by you just get next to a tree and just do this was also great.
That was good.
Let's see.
You can do
You could tell I was kind of being like trying to bring a little bit of comedy into Nadar's situations to the point I was like,
oh, for sure.
Like the little bit where it's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Who are you? Why am I seeing me? Sort of thing. It's like, I don't understand
that was
what's going on.
super interesting.
Yeah.
That was weird.
I was thinking, I was like, okay, so Nadar has an intelligence of -1 or like an 8, so like he's not very smart, so he's not gonna figure out that it's like the fog itself messing with him, but something is messing with him. He knows that.
And Richard came in clutch on that one because that little glowy sword really helped.
If the glowy
red
sword
is a question.
What?
I think that's
in the
to
chat.
Bex. Or it might have been me.
Oh.
Oh, no. Was that to me, Handolf? Because I was tempted to be
I think he's asking about you wanted to do something fun with Nadar from Van
yeah, I
Ricken's
messaged Stupid about this during the session. It was like, there's a couple... I'll share it now, because it could like it might still happen. I don't know, but I can. So Von Richten's Guide to Ravenloft adds lineages, which are basically race changes you can take later on in a campaign, and a couple of which would have fit with what happened or what might have happened, depending on what happened, on what 2-Bit decided was going to happen, basically. So I could have, like I said earlier, like I could have become a vampire. Or the lineage there is a half vampire, the Dampier, or whatever. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Mm-hmm.
There's also lycanthropy in the monster manual for a player curse. Ornidar could straight up die and have been brought back to life, feasibly, as a reborn.
And all of those are very real options.
Yes.
But all that said, we are kind of reaching near the end here to where we're going to wrap things up. So because I know Jay needs to go, and we have a few other people who are going to be ready to wrap it up for the night. So any final questions from chat before we call tonight and say goodbye to all of you and see you on the next edition on episode 19 of Trials of Imagination? And then final questions from any of you guys as well. Going once.
Yes. Would you have let me become like a reborn or something this session? If it had gone that way.
This session, no, I would not. We would talk about it.
Not the immediate, not the change. Like you feasibly quote unquote kill the character, and then Nadar just doesn't do anything for the rest of the session. Comes back next session or something as the lineage.
Potentially, it would have depended on what killed you.
Yes, that makes sense. Because like if a werewolf kills me, I can understand you having him come back with like lycanthropy or as a reborn or something, and the half vampire.
Never said there were werewolves in there.
No, you didn't. That's why I'm saying like that's an option. This is an option. There are a whole bunch of these other options of what killed me.
Right. Yeah, you don't know what was in there.
No, that's why I was trying to be like, okay, so there's this, and this.
So
these are like the lineage options they give, and then there's also Monster Manual Curse to make player characters a werewolf.
So I think that's a good thing to read out on. So we had everyone drink from chat. So
I don't have any any liquid now.
Bottoms up.
Do I drink the Do I drink?
Last time I had to go running, grab my coffee.
I have water here.
Mark literally just like yeets off to go get a drink.
I could, but I don't want to get water. I don't have any iced tea left.
There it goes.
During the session.
There it goes.
I can't have
3 cobalt in a trench coat.
video evidence of me drinking water.
Here you go, Bex.
It would go against my brand.
I'll throw it to you.
I'll catch it.
I'll catch It'd have been baller if you had a Coke and just so that's going to wrap everything up for tonight, everyone. So thank you so much for sticking around with us throughout this very unique and odd episode that took a turn I did not expect it to, but here we are. And it's nonetheless still a lot of fun, keeps me on my toes, which is always interesting, and probably definitely kept the players on their toes. But it was fun, had a good time, and look forward to next week, where I believe we will have all 6 members back. I think, someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I think all 6 of us will be here. But if not, we'll play accordingly and move on. And don't forget, episode 20 is coming close. So next week is episode 19. The episode after that will be 20. That is when the giveaway takes place. So if you haven't already, ! Giveaway in chat. You can follow the link there to submit tickets. You get tickets from watching the stream. So as long as you have been watching, you have earned tickets, and you may put your name in the pot as many times as you would like. As I said in the beginning, it works just like a raffle, so that you can just keep on giving your chance more and more, giving yourself more and more chances to win all of our giveaways we'll be doing in episode 20, because there will be several, so you do not want to miss it. Make sure to let some people know, spread the word. Let's get some fun going in these next few episodes as we really reach some interesting territory. But we're going to wrap things up. So thank you so much for coming as per usual. But until we see you guys next week, everybody say bye.
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 Till next Tuesday.